Hi, welcome back to Unclamped. This episode of Unclamped will look a little bit different because we're here at the Oley Conference. We spent the day at the Oley Expo with all the vendors, patients, and caregivers around the area. The reason we're here at the Expo and at the Oley Conference is because what Oley means to us. As a patient, it means connection. I have been attending as Gaby. I've been attending the Oley conference for a very short period of time in my PN journey. So for me, only since the last 4 years, so since St. Louis. And what Oley means to me is, well, that's how I met Gaby. So it means making a new friend.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Gaby. Like Crystal said, this is my fourth Oley, and what Oley means to me is connection, community, friends, and having a place where we belong.
Hi, I'm Jayme. I'm from the Philadelphia area. And as the girls already mentioned, the Oley Conference is just an amazing experience. We are so excited to share it with all of you. I have been attending Oley since 2013 with my two children, and now this is the first year that I was able to bring my third child, Ella, to also partake in all of the festivities and just all of the experiences. So we're really excited to be here today and share more patient stories.
Thank you for taking the time to tune in with us. Here on Unclamped, we recognize that every patient and caregiver carries a story, each one shaped by unique experiences, challenges, and triumphs. Before we dive in, we want to take a few minutes to introduce ourselves so you can get to know the voices behind the mic, the journeys that brought us together here, and the passion that fuels this space. Because this isn't just a podcast, it really is about community, and every story matters.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Unclamped. Today, we're at the Oley Conference, and we are going to take a minute to interview Beth, the CEO of Oley. So, Beth, before we dive into the conference, let's start with the big picture. For listeners who may be hearing about Oley for the first time, in a nutshell, what is the Oley Foundation?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I'm so excited. One of the most important things I could do is tell you about Oley is that we're a community. And at the heart of everything that we do, we want to make sure that those who are on the nutrition support journey and those who support those on the nutrition support journey have a place where they belong, where they're seen and known and loved. We have it through a variety of programs, but mostly it's about finding community when so many people don't have one until they find Oley.
I love that. That's amazing. And I feel like that really goes along with Oley's mission. So why has it been such an important resource for patients and families?
So I think Oley is an important resource for families because when we fall into this new world, whether you're born and immediately need to be on nutrition support or somewhere along your journey, you can even be in old age when you first become on nutrition support, there's very little that is required or told of what you need to know in order to survive this. So what's the education? Is there a community? How do I do this? Is this safe? Is this not? And it's really sad to me that there are really great programs that do a great job of making sure patients go home safely. And then there's the majority that don't. And so those especially are the people, they feel like they've fallen off the planet into a new world and they have no clue how to do this. I remember from my own story, I have this 9-month-old baby. I've just met him in foster care. It's the first time I've ever seen a D-tube. I have no idea what I'm doing. He's in a hospital hours away from my home. All of a sudden I get to my house and they said, oh, somebody will come by and teach you everything you need to know in order to take care of him. Great. That's not what happened. What happened is somebody who spoke a different language than I do drove up in my driveway, left her car running, dropped off stuff, and said bye-bye and left. And that is my introduction to nutrition support. I found a community of what do I do? How do I do this? I'm educated and I can talk to other people and figure out what I need. And I'm like, there's gotta be a better way. Eventually I found Oley myself and said, there's a group of people who know what to do and how to navigate this journey. So to me, the most important thing that somebody can do isn't necessarily find Oley, it's find your community. I feel like we're the flashlight that points people along the way to be able to find each other.
I love that. That makes a lot of sense. And I had a very similar experience. So thank you. So what does Oley do in regards to filling that gap and being that liaison with healthcare systems?
Yeah. So we see ourselves being a liaison to these various places in a couple of ways. One is the individual. What does that one person need? Maybe it's one-on-one. They need something. Maybe they need an education piece. Maybe they want a webinar. They want to get connected to, like, you guys are tied to travel Facebook groups, for example. Maybe that's what they need. Other people, it's the national things. Like Crystal sits on, national organizations, and I know Jayme sits on Aspen's policy. So what do we do on a national level in order to say move this all forward? So we really try to make sure that the one is seen, but also the many all at once, and advocating for both sides.
Great. And you kind of already spoke to this, but your journey with Oley is definitely a unique one because you have your own personal experiences to draw from. So how did your involvement begin? Like, how did you get here?
Yeah, thanks for asking about my journey. It's one that I get to tell bits and pieces of every now and then. So like I said, my son was 9 months old and I'm on nutrition support, so I haven't found Oley. He eventually progresses to needing a central line, and he's on TPN. We were, again, same sort of thing, dropped off in the middle of nowhere. A doctor 3 hours north, same thing, where nobody's gonna teach us how to do this. I find myself, I like to use the analogy of potholes. We found ourselves falling through potholes. How do we pull ourselves out? Then now, how do I smooth that over for the next patient so that they can come along and say, what a smooth ride? So I've done a lot of things in the national patient safety organizations, and I even worked in that world. So I was giving a keynote speech one day to that world, talking about my experiences with Manny in vascular access, when up walks a woman, and she said, I need you to come speak at our conference. And it was Joan Bishop, the previous executive director of the Oley Foundation. I'd never heard of it. I'd been doing this for years, and I had no clue that a community existed. So fast forward, I come to speak at an Oley, and I walk in the front door, and there was still those hushed tones of life limiting, it's not going to go very well, all of those scare tactics that I think some doctors actually believe in, and it's the truth for some. I walked in the front door and I met people who had been on TPN at that point for over 40 years, and I'm like, we're fine. And I found home. It wasn't right away that I soon became a volunteer. Soon after that, I got on the board. And a few years ago, they asked if I'd be when she retired, Joan retired, they asked if I'd be the CEO. One of the scariest moments of my life, I actually said no multiple times because I know what I know and I know what I don't know. I've never run an organization. I don't know how to fundraise, but I have a passion for this community and I have a powerful voice. And one of the things that I love most about my job is sharing the microphone with others. It's not my voice that matters, but if I can get that microphone and turn that on for somebody else, then that is what I love doing.
Well, we're glad that you said yes. I've loved seeing the evolution of Oley, and you've done a great job. Every conference, it just gets better and better. So you bring both that professional leadership and lived experience, as we already noted. So how does that perspective influence the way that you choose to lead Oley today?
So the way that I lead Oley is I try very hard to listen to as many voices as I can. And I try to listen for signal and noise, because one person's experience might just be that one person's experience, and it doesn't invalidate it, but what can one organization do for every one individual? But we try our best to even find the one, because it's worth it. Because I was that one, Manny was that one, my family was that one, that sometimes we just needed the hope in order to know that I'm doing it okay. I remember going home and the only thing I wanted to know is, I just don't want to kill my kid. That was it. And I'm trying to figure out how to survive. And so having experienced that, I don't think I know what everybody else's experience is, but I can relate. I remember being on an FDA call one time. We were doing a symposia and they asked everybody to go off camera for a second. And I said, great. And then Manny had an emergency during that time. I had him come up. We dealt with the emergency, blah, blah, blah. He was all fine. We figured it out. They said camera back on. And I thought, ooh, good thing that they didn't see that. And later I said, that's what they should have seen. That reel, that moment. So I will often be on like these national calls. I was on with the Joint Commission on 4 days ago. I sit on the FDA things. Like I'm having these national conversations. And what I'm able to do is if I can get a foot in the door and I can let now the next person and everybody behind me, and I'll move out of the way and make sure that they also get seen and heard. Because it's not just one story. But if they're willing to listen to one, here now meet my thousands of friends who also have similar experiences or overlapping. So I guess that's a long way of saying, I think that it's critical in order to have that personal experience. It's also important to have that national perspective. Both of them are important. And it's one of the reasons that I am so proud of Oley, because we have patient voices, we have caregiver voices, we have clinicians, we have healthcare systems, we have associated associations and societies, and we have the vendors and those who make the products and services all in one room. Sit down and let's figure this out together. So like at the end of Oley this year, Crystal's going to be part of our industry summit that just says, how are we together collectively adding our voice that said, there's something that's not working and let's figure this out. We, the team, have to figure this out. And I don't know that I would be that passionate had I not currently been experiencing it. Right before conference, I made sure he had his dressing was changed. I did his lab draws, all while I'm preparing to put on this great conference. I was mom first. And so I never lose sight of why we do it for the one and then the many.
I love that. I do. I definitely do. And I love that you can share that with us, because that is very behind the scenes, but so important for our viewers to know. I feel like we come to Oley and everything just magically happens. It looks great and it's beautiful.
Amazing.
Yeah, but it's great to know the ongoing work and dedication and how you're helping bring everybody's story forward. I think that that's just so valuable and so important. So just before we end, I want to ask a super fun question.
Yeah.
So every year there's a theme.
Yeah.
The themes are great. This year is circus. So how do you guys decide what the next year's theme is going to be?
So we actually have multiple things of themes throughout. So we have a conference theme and then we have a welcome reception theme. The welcome reception thing was an accident, complete and utter accident. The first year I ran it was the 40th anniversary. So 2023 was the 40-year anniversary. And I was like, hey, let's do a back to the 80s theme. And it was so much fun. The next year we were in Arizona in July.
Right?
Yeah, smart as I am. So I was like, we were the hottest ticket in town, but come inside. So we did a welcome reception. I thought, let's just go into it and go with it. So we had polar bears and we had lots of Elsas and all that to do it. And so it became a thing of, oh, I guess this is a thing now. We're going to have fun. One of the reasons we're doing Carnival this year is because Ringling actually was started about 30 miles from here.
Oh, wow.
And so this was one of those, like, let's do grand, let's do big. We had come and saw the site visit and we saw this room would make a magical place for big circus carnival kind of thing. The other themes that I also do is every conference has its own theme. So the first one a couple of years ago was at the Gateway Arch in St. Louis. And it was the first one back for Oley after COVID. And so I thought, what a great way to do that. The Gateway Arch, we called it Gateway to the Future. And the next year, because of the way we talk about connected, so you're connected to EN or PN, and so we called it Connected. And those community members were coming together. Last year was called Prime. Primed and ready to grow. Yeah, I like those little double meanings. So primed is the tubing. So this year, we talked about it as a team. What do we want this to be? And we thought we need to infuse. What are we infusing? And the word hope kept coming up. But it's not just alone to be the infusing hope. It's in our hands. So many people in our world feel hopeless. that they have no voice, that they have no power, they have no say. And we want to reclaim that and say, what is in our hands collectively? What is in your hands? What do you want to do? Not to bring to Oley, to bring to the community. And so that's what this year's is. We already know next year's theme, and there may or may not be Easter eggs everywhere on what that is, some hints to what next year's theme is already going to be. But we give it a lot of thought, and it's not just the theme for the conference, it becomes a theme for the year. Becomes a theme for the whole year. So we've been trying to figure out how to infuse hope to everybody this whole year and after, primed the whole year, ready to grow. So it becomes a metaphor for why the Oley staff does what we do.
Awesome. Well, I love that. And thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're busy, got a lot going on, but we really enjoyed having you here on this episode and really kicking it off. So we're hoping to hear what our patients and families and industry providers also think about the Oley Foundation and the Oley Conference. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me. I hope you all have amazing fun, because while we have education, and those are amazing, we have vendors, we have all the things, we also try really hard to make sure everybody has fun and really feels connected. So thanks for having me today.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you.
Mark Peter, Boston Children's Hospital. I take care of a lot of the short bowel patients at Boston Children's Hospital, develop drugs for the treatment of short bowel disease and liver diseases. To see the families, see what's new, and see what patients really need for the future research.
I'm Saban Kinberg. I'm a pediatric gastroenterologist in New York. I run our pediatric intestinal rehab center in Columbia. One thing only that's going to be really hard to narrow down, but I love the community. I go to a lot of medical conferences. Everyone in my group jokes that if there's a medical conference on anything shortcut or nutrition related, I am there. But the special thing about Oley is that every stakeholder is here. So we have patients, children to adults, caregivers, families, siblings come and get recognized. Industry, clinicians, whole multidisciplinary team is really the only unique conference where everybody is here together and we can just all learn from each other, because every stakeholder is so valuable, and the only way we can ever advance anything in nutrition support is to work together and learn from each other.
David Mercer. So I'm a surgeon, and I run the intestinal failure program in Nebraska, and I'm the past president of Oley, so I've been pretty involved for quite some time with all this stuff. I think Oley it's the only organization in the country that's like this for a group of patients. It's the only place where patients and industry and doctors are all together working on a common problem. And I think there's a lot of ability for us all to interact together and figure out stuff in probably the best way for the whole field. So I think that's my favorite. One piece of advice I would give, say a new patient or a new clinician, two different things. A new patient, I think you have to try to find as many sources of information as you can, because often what you hear from the first person may not necessarily be the gospel truth, and you can spend a lot of time in the wrong path. So I think you want to try to find other people with lived experience that you can just check through some of the things you've heard. For a new provider, it's very different, because you have to decide how much you really want to be engaged in this kind of care. And if you really want to be engaged in it, then you have to be all in. And if you just want to dabble, you're almost better off to not do it and try to find other people that can help you, who can really, really be focused on what they're doing. So I think it's just different depending on what direction you're coming from.
Hi, my name is Andy Jablonski. My name is Vincent Roche. I'm Roy. Thanks for having me.
Danny?
I'm Sandy.
My name is Nicole White.
And I'm Kyrie White.
My name's Shaylee Hunter.
Dave? I'm Owen.
I'm Olivia. I'm Maddie.
Mark.
Jessica. My name's Bailey.
My name's Anna.
Hi, my name is Jaden. This is my 4th Oley conference. I am an EN and a PN consumer traveling from Seattle, Washington.
Chocolate.
Hi, my name is Gaby, and I'm from Houston, Texas.
My name is Pam, and I'm from South Carolina, Myrtle Beach.
I have been a consumer for 26 years. I love getting to see all my friends and family, and definitely volunteering in Kids Club. I love the kids. They're so full of energy and life, and they just don't care about anything other than just being normal kids.
I am a HPN patient, and I've been on 2 feeds before.
I come because it's a great chance to meet other people like myself. We've been on 2 feeds and TPN and know the ins and outs and how to make life a little more bearable some days. And it's great to like connect with some of the different exhibitors, to different companies that like make feeding tubes, or learning how, I know at my last conference, I was able to learn how they make the TPN.
I have been a TPN dependent patient for 3.5 years. I love all of the community connection, support, and being able to see and connect with people you typically only are talking to online.
And I love the Oley Conference because it feels like summer camp. I get to hang out, be with my friends, and have a good time.
Oh, I'm on home enteral feedings, so I'm a tubie. What do I like about it? Just being with my peeps, my fellow tubies.
Seeing old friends and making new ones. Yeah, same here. And also learning about all of the new developments in healthcare.
I'm a patient. I'm a patient also. I've known it for like 3-4 years. I've been in on it for all my life. I love walking around, talking to all the vendors, learning new stuff, and being inspired and seeing all people hopeful, stuff like that. It's a nice atmosphere.
I like seeing old friends and meeting new ones and and seeing all, I don't know, a mix of everyone, what everyone said.
Networking with patients and industry providers, learning different educational topics.
I was given up, not getting any answers from any doctors, and my nutritionist at the time suggested the Oley Conference because I was in the same state that I was in. So I went to it, and walking through the doors, I felt hopeless. For one was when I actually met Jayme, because I was just sitting there at the table, just me and my husband, just kind of chilling, and it was my first conference, and she and her family came over and sat with us, and we have been friends for a long time. I would just tell people that are on TPN that regardless of what people tell you, doctors tell you, you can still live a very resourceful life, even being on TPN. And with troop feeds too, I would say the troop feeds, I would say that make sure that they're aware that there are different types of formula and different types that you can use. So you're not a failure if you don't make the first couple. You just have to keep trying. And after 15 years, I am actually trying again.
I have been on TPN for a little over 3 years.
I'm just providing support in the background.
I particularly enjoyed meeting new people and also meeting in person people that we've gotten to know through a Zoom support.
Absolutely. Getting to know some of the people in person has been amazing. But also the speakers have been really inspirational.
A patient on the limbs, nutritional support to make connection with people like you. I have severe gastroparesis, chronic inertia, intestinal dysmotility, and malabsorption. So I have a J tube or D tube, a port in the interior of the vein.
And I have short bowel syndrome. I have severe gastroparesis, and I had colon inertia. So I am on TPN nutrition. I had a G tube, but it was pulled recently, so it's just TPN now.
Getting to connect with others. We actually met last year, and we've been texting every day.
We've been best friends. We've talked every day. The support, totally. I was so isolated before the meeting, but also the resources.
Yeah.
The resources, the teams that come in, and just the networking of medical professionals.
Yeah.
Patient. Yeah. Well, a former patient, I guess. After 25 years, I'm off TPN, but I guess once a patient, always a patient, right? Oh my gosh. I grew up in the organization at 8 years old and have been attending on and off for all those years. You don't need to know how old I am now, but Now I sit on the board, and it's one of the greatest ways to give back to an organization that has given me and my family and a lot of my friends so much. And it's also great to carry the torch for those that are no longer here. So it's beautiful to still come back and have those memories.
I've been on nutrition support for 30 years. I have a G-tube and a femoral central line that I've had for over 12 years. One, I work here, but two, I absolutely love this community. It's not only my home community, but I've been a part of this community for so long that I need connection as well. And I just love seeing all the kids and all the fun we have. We have so many fun events that it just drew me in. I was a volunteer at first and drew me into where now I'm a staff member.
I'm Frederica Schuster, and I am from Madison, Wisconsin.
I'm Andy Schuster in Madison as well.
And my connection is that as a spouse and a caregiver, and I think as a clinician too, I'm a dentist.
Yeah, it's been 3 years since we're connected, but I'm had a feeling to since 2018.
I think we enjoy meeting new people and just getting ideas and taking notes and finding out about new products and the personal connections.
I agree.
María, tengo un nieto con YouTube en short bowel syndrome, porque vengo a educarme, a ver cómo le cae bien toda esta convivencia a mi nieto.
Reggie Augusti. I am the father of a son with short bowel syndrome. We've come to Oley for the community and for my son to feel part of a group of people that are similar to him and care for him.
My name is Heather Denny. My son is 4 and he's is on TPN and Enteral feeds overnight and eats a little bit poorly. So I come to the Oley conference to learn about all of these things, see things like this expo, and then also just to connect with other families that are going through the same thing that I am.
Thank you. I'm Lily. My daughter is 8 years old and she is on TPN and has a D. I love how there's community that my daughter can be a part of, to where she doesn't know that not everybody's on TPN. She lives a normal life with her community and I love connecting her to that.
Melanie?
I'm Eric. Our daughter is on TPN and tube feeding.
Tube feeding. To learn to advocate for her, to make new friends, new connection, to learn new things.
Sarah Helens. My daughter Maisie is 8 and she's been on nutrition support, tube feeds, and TPN her whole life. I love all the kids at Oley and seeing them run around and stay up late and wear their backpacks together. That's what I love.
My name is Tammy Morris. We came from Fayetteville, Arkansas. I'm the caregiver to my daughter, Maddie, for 18 years. She's been on TPN since birth. We come to Oley because Maddie has her best friends here. We learn something every year, and we make great people.
Hi, I'm Shirley. So my daughter was TPN dependent for many years, and that's how we got involved with Oley back in 2012. So it's been a while since we've been involved. I really love the community that's here, and I think it is really a large family that comes together year after year. So that has been a wonderful support for myself and the family.
Louise, my sister is non-traditional. She was on feeding, she's now on TPN, and I can be her caregiver sometimes. I've helped her out with that. So I came to the Oley conference when the connections right there and started to talk a lot about like the research side of things, but people I always want to know more about her health and support her. And I have similar conditions as well. So
I'm Crystal. I'm Renata. And the reason I'm here at Oley today is 1, because of Unclamped, and 2, as you know, I am a patient on parenteral nutrition. And so I come to the Oley Foundation to connect with people. Why did you come to Oley today?
My daughter invited me.
And what have you learned at the Oley conference?
A lot about nutrition.
What has been one of the favorite things that you've enjoyed?
A lot of the kids, I enjoy watching them run around.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Combs. I am a pharmacist, so I'm a clinician, I've come to Oley for many years. I help manage patients on home parenteral nutrition. That's my connection to this community. And I'm actually on the board of directors of the Oley Foundation currently.
Hi, my name is Lisa. I'm a dietitian, and my link to nutrition support is really, I see home nutrition support patients in the outpatient setting. And I was introduced to Oley by Dr. Darlene Kelly, who was a past board member and medical director. Something that I really like about Oley is actually it humbles me as a clinician, because I thought I knew everything. I thought I'd gone all through this extra training, and then I realized, oh, I hear a whole nother perspective or a whole nother point of view and realize I didn't know everything. And it's been a great opportunity to kind of broaden, honestly, my clinical skills by having that interaction with patients. So I love Oley for that and many other things.
I'm Eric Weber. I run Tubitech, a company that makes accessories for enteral feeding pumps. So my son was born 1 pound 2 ounces, and he came home with a feeding tube at 6 months old. He still has one now 5 years later, and he was the inspiration behind it, making products to help us so we can help other people. I love the Oley Conference. It's a great way to meet people and to not just feel so alone and isolated in the community like it kind of can feel sometimes. It's just a great way to connect and meet amazing people.
Hi, my name is Jeannie Counts. I work at the National Home Infusion Association, and our clinicians treat Oley people, and it's just really nice to get out into the community and see who the patients are and what their needs are and how things are in their lives. Well, I think we could probably do a lot more, like to learn what patients need in their daily therapies and from their providers, and work on things like improving quality of life so that you're not just on medical treatment, you're able to live your life and do the things you want to do. I think that's something that our clinicians try to focus on, but it's always a project, and we want to make things better. I don't know if it's cheesy, but every time I come here, it makes me a little verklempt. The spirit of community is really palpable. Everybody's here to support each other. Everybody's doing different things, but they're all pulling in the same direction. And I think it's a really fantastic thing. And it's part of healthcare that you don't see all the time. So it makes me happy to be reminded of it every year.
I'm Jade Lusk. I work with the Oley Foundation. I worked with Oley for 3 years, and this year I am a new aunt to a niece who has a feeding tube. So that's my extra reason now. So the biggest thing is to have the community. When you need to message someone, they have connections to message someone to help. If it's just a kind word or something to help inspire. So it's not scary. Everything's just so open and normal that it's amazing to be able to be here and surrounded by people who just understand everything.
My name is Justin Riggs. I'm a dietitian and I work for URX Nutrition, meeting all of the consumers that we are able to help day in and day out.
Hi, so my name is Catherine, and I'm a dietitian, regional nutrition account manager for VivoRx. We're a TPN provider. And this is my first time attending Oley, and what I really love about Oley so far is just the community and the connection with the patients. It's just so supportive and inspiring. I'm having a great time. Okay. Hi, I'm Katie Hall from Boston. I'm the Director of Nutrition for VivoRx, sponsor of Unclamped. I've been worked in home infusion for a very long time, and there's nothing like the Oley Foundation, the community, clinicians, patients, and caregivers all taking care of each other. It's really a special meeting and foundation.
My name is Tracy Jambertones. I am blessed to be able to work with the community, working with different companies and partners as a dietitian who works in nutrition support. The one thing I love about the Oley Conference, and I get so emotional, is that it brings together so many people and shows people that they're not alone and they're in this fight together.
Before we wrap up, I just want to say this is why we do Unclamped. As a mom with 2 kids on parenteral nutrition, I know how lonely this journey can feel sometimes. There are moments where you wonder if anyone else could possibly understand the decisions you have to make every day, the things you worry about, or even the victories that feel so big to you and your family, but might seem ordinary to anyone else. And then you come to Oley. Today, we started by talking with Beth Gore, who reminded us that beyond the title of CEO, she's also a mom who walked this road. That really set the tone for everything else that followed. Because one after another, people came to the booth and shared their stories. Different diagnoses, different ages, different roles, patients, parents, providers, researchers, industry partners, different paths that all somehow led to the same place. What struck me most wasn't how different everyone's story was. It was how many of the feelings were the same. The fear, the resilience, the learning, the sense of community, the gratitude, and maybe most of all, the relief of finally being surrounded by people who don't need an explanation. And that's what makes Oley so special. It's one of the few places where a teenager on PN, a parent who's exhausted, a nurse who's dedicated their career in nutrition support, and someone designing the next generation of infusion technology can all sit in the same room to learn from one another and realize that they're a part of something much bigger. No one is the expert in everything, but together, everyone has something to teach. So to everyone who's stopped by the Unclamped booth, thank you. Thank you for trusting us with your stories. Thank you for reminding us all about why this community matters. And thank you for showing that life on nutrition support isn't just about the challenges. It's about the people you meet, the hope you find, and the way we keep showing up for each other. If you're listening and you've never been to an Oley conference, I hope this episode gave you a little glimpse into why so many of us keep coming back. Not because our journeys are easy, but because they're easier when you don't have to walk them alone. Thanks for spending time with us, and we'll see you soon on the next episode of Unclamped. But until then, keep sharing your story and keep lifting each other up. We want to thank you for tuning in with us on Unclamped. We hope today's conversation reminded you that every diagnosis holds a story, one of strength, compassion, and connection. We want to give a heartfelt thank you to our sponsor, Avivo RX, for their commitment to supporting patients and families through their nutrition support journey. Their dedication makes conversations like this possible and provides a platform for the patient voice. We'd also love to hear from you too. If you have a story to share or a topic you'd like us to explore, reach out anytime at nutritiongroup4all@gmail.com. And be sure to find us on YouTube, follow along on our social media, and listen wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you.